We are officially live. Get my camera angle all adjusted here. All right, you guys, drop some comments below. Let me know where you're watching from. How's your guys' day been? It's been a busy one today. If you were on my Instagram account, just follow Side Hustle Pros if you're not already. But I took an unexpected RA day, and it was supposed to be just, this is how it always starts out, right? It was supposed to be one store, real quick, and sure enough, my product wasn't there that I was hoping would be there. And so then it went store after store after store, and I ended up scoring 300 units of something I can make about $3 each on. So I'm really excited for that. Then I just got back. I hit the gym real quick, showered. I literally just scarfed down like a little salad. Super heavy dinner tonight. So now I'm going to hop on here. I've got some video recording to do for you guys tonight after this, so it's definitely been a busy day on our end. So let's kick this thing off, shall we? I want to talk about something that I say it every now and then, but I haven't done like a dedicated video just for this topic of like health and exercise and nutrition and all these things that nobody likes to talk about in the entrepreneur world, because a lot of, you can agree or disagree and that's okay, but a lot of business owners, a lot of entrepreneurs, I've fallen guilty of this, and I'll talk about that with my story, but we focus so much on the business, on the numbers, and we have to, right? We have to put in the hours to grow these things. But at which point do you start sacrificing your own health, your own mentality, your own family time, like all these things that I consider health? And there's different variations of that, right? But at the end of the day, if you're not making yourself and your family a priority, it doesn't matter how great your business is. It doesn't matter how many millions you build your business to. If you aren't healthy and happy and you have great relationships with your friends and family, like you're never going to find that happiness. That's something that I discovered because back in 2016, I found myself time and time again playing the comparison game. And I've talked about this on this channel before, is I used to compare myself to all these top dogs, all these big sellers, and I felt bad I wasn't pushing the numbers that they were, especially because I'm a content creator here on YouTube and Instagram. I felt like I need to be doing $100,000 a month every month, or I need to be doing $500,000 a year every year. I felt like that was a necessity because I am a content creator here, but then I crashed and burned real hard that year, and I'm going to talk about that. So I'm excited. Let me know in the comment section, anyone who's watching live, my audio is okay. I just completely forgot my AirPods in the car, so hopefully the regular iPhone is doing okay. So let's dive in. Let's talk about a little bit about my backstory with this all. Audio's good. Awesome. Thank you. I started my journey like 9 years ago. So 9 years ago, I'm the typical scenario of I'm a completely, and some of you can understand this, I'm a complete 180 person now than I was back then. Back then, I had graduated high school. I was going through massage school. I graduated massage school, got my first job as a massage therapist, working full-time for the man, hated every single day, the whole 9 yards. So my typical schedule, I would go home at night, and I was a gamer. Some of you get that, right? I got so sucked into World of Warcraft, StarCraft, Halo, right? Halo 2 was like the big one back then. Call of Duty really just started to get popular. Man, so it was like 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. every single night was my game time. And of course, I'm eating on the way to work, on the way back from work, fast food, all nasty stuff. And I just got to the point where I was probably 165 or 170 pounds when I first went into massage school. And then I started this like just bad path of binge eating, playing video games all night, high stress because I hated my job. And of course that affected my family life. Tristan and I just started dating. So I'm like, I thank her so much because she put up with all of that in the beginning. And now our relationship, of course, is way stronger now because of all the foundation building we had to do in the beginning. So as this built up, I went from like 165, 170 pounds to my peak, which was almost 230 pounds. And that's, I don't know if you guys saw the thumbnail I put up, that was 230 pounds for myself. That was not a good 230 pounds because I'm 210, 215 pounds right now, but it's a much healthier 210 pounds than it was back in the mushy phase. So long story short, I don't want to like bore you guys with, you know, back in my day type of thing. But when I first started, that's where I came from. I came from the video game addict. Like I was on the addiction side. It wasn't even like I love to play video games. Like I needed that fix every night. It's really hard to describe, but any gamers in here or ex-gamers would totally know what I mean. So throughout the process of starting to lose some weight, and this is pre even wanting to start my own business. I had no idea what starting a business was. Like I was just a massage therapist working 6 days a week at Massage Envy. Was my first job. And then I upgraded. I started working at this big fancy spa around here in Oregon, big old 5-star building. So I had to cater to like higher end clients and still working 6 days a week, putting in 5 or 6 massages a day. And again, just slaving. And so that was what kind of sparked, and that's like on the business side, but that's kind of what sparked my want to become an entrepreneur, build my own business so I don't have to go slave at jobs. I can take time off when I want to and build something that's for me and my family that's not just a paycheck from a boss. So once I started to do that and I quit that job, so all of a sudden I was doing massage therapy on my own. I started to do a little bit of health and fitness coaching because I had lost some weight. At my peak, I had lost 50 pounds at one point, and that's I'm kind of getting into like that before and after photo you guys saw in the thumbnail. So as I'm going throughout this process, it's all about the weight loss. It's all about the weight loss. It's all about the weight loss. I got down to 175, and I'm not a small person, so for me, 175 was like super lean, and that wasn't even the picture that you guys saw there. The 175 was like scrawny. I was still squishy to the touch type of body, what we call a skinny fat, because all I was doing was cardio. I had done Portland Marathon. I did a half marathon. I did a bunch of 15Ks, a 5K. So I was just running my ass off, literally. And so I had lost all what muscle I had at the time, lost all my lean muscle tissue. And I just I got so scrawny. It was not a good place for me to be mentally. So then I started lifting weights, which I wasn't doing at all at this point. So I started lifting weights and I started figuring out my body type and what type of workouts I see the best results from. And for me, it was weightlifting. So I started to get some type of like a frame built onto me, which is really cool. And once I got to a certain level, I plateaued like everyone does at some point in their lives. Some of you do it with your relationships, your business, your health, your weight loss, whatever, but you hit plateaus, right? So I hit my first big plateau, and I yo-yo dieted. I did all the roller coaster stuff that a lot of people struggle with. I did that for years. So I want to skip all of the beginning stuff and kind of dive into what I want to talk about here. It comes down to making yourself a priority, because one of my favorite phrases, I don't remember if I heard this somewhere or if it just I've said it so many times now, I don't remember where I found it from or if I crafted it. But it's, when you feel your best, you give your best. And that's something that's been repeated in my head every single day for about 2 years now. Because in 2016, so let's kind of mix in the business stuff, right? Because I know it's what most of you are here for, is like the business stuff. But I really want to lay the foundation for why taking care of yourself is so important and how it will impact your business the way it did with ours. Early 2016, we had been doing Amazon FBA. eBay wasn't even like a thought back then. We'd only been doing eBay for like a year now. So back then it was just Amazon FBA. I was buying some of these liquidation pallets. I was flipping a few things, and we were like 5 or 6 months into it, kind of figuring out our groove. You know, we're building the YouTube channel. We're building FBA Rockstars, the Facebook group. So there's a lot of stuff going on. And I love to be busy. That's I love to be productive and work on projects. I always love that next thing on my to-do list to check off. I do not do well. Anyone who knows me, I do not do well if I'm just chilling. For me to sit down and watch a full movie without getting on my phone and like at least going through my DMs or messages and stuff like that, it's very difficult. So I'm getting better at it recently, but it took time and practice to do that. So with 2016, I had other projects, other businesses, other opportunities, and I kept saying yes, 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 yes. Because 2016 in my head was like the year I was going to build our business to the point where we can start to live a little more comfortably. Because even though we were generating income with Amazon FBA in the beginning, and even though we were generating income from a little bit of affiliate marketing, this was that was really kind of it. I was still doing massage therapy at the time. I was still doing a little bit of health and fitness coaching. So we had a lot of little tiny income streams that would make up our piece of the pie. And I started to think like there's got to be more income streams coming in so we can start to really live comfortably, pay off our debt, do all that stuff. So I had this mentality of like more is better. Fast forward to November 2016. This gets into it. November 2016. Some of you have heard this story. If you've heard me speak at one of the conferences, I've spoken at 2 conferences and I've brought this subject up before. When November 2016 came around, Trista's family down in Arizona, we flew down for a whole week down there. And so it was amazing. But it wasn't until that week that I had to force myself to unplug because I wasn't sourcing, I wasn't doing anything. So I had no choice but to unplug, spend family time the whole week for Thanksgiving. And it wasn't until that week that, because I had forced time off. It was the first time in a long time I just sat down and reflected. And I broke down. Like Tristan and I got into an argument. I think it was first thing in the morning, like we both woke up and something just like triggered and I snapped. And we got into like a huge argument and I stopped in the middle of the argument. I'm like, I am so sorry. And I lost my stuff, right? If I'm being just completely vulnerable with you, I broke down right then and there. And it was like, I had this, you hear the term like your life flashes before your eyes type of thing. Like I had the whole all of 2016, like flashed before my eyes. I realized how much frustration I let build up, how much stress I was carrying. I was saying yes to way too many things and way too many people. I was carrying the burden of everything and everyone for so long, and I was spreading myself so thin for so long. I was numb to it. I didn't even. It's hard to explain. Comment below. Let me know if you guys have been in that state of mind before, where you just all of a sudden realize, like I recalled times a couple weeks prior to where even just dumb stuff like checking out at the grocery store, I was a complete dick to one of the gals that was checking me out at the cash register, and it was like a little minor thing, and I snapped. But in that moment, I was numb to it. I had no idea, and so all of a sudden I'm reflecting, and I'm looking at, holy crap, I've been a poor husband. I've been a poor father to my then 2-year-old. I've been having a horrible time maintaining relationships, friendships. I was a horrible business partner to many people. I was letting the YouTube channel just suffer because I wasn't putting out good content. Our Facebook groups, I was not even in them. I lost sense of almost who I was. That was not me. I am not a frustrated, stressed out person. And I let myself build up to that point because I wasn't putting myself first. I wasn't making myself a priority. I wasn't happy with myself. My sole purpose in 2016 that built up to that was my only focus was all business related. And it's kind of funny and ironic because now that I look back, the business was suffering bad. So all this time I thought I was honed in on building the business to what the best business it can be. And all these little multiple streams of income we built up and spreading myself so thin, it really got me to the exact opposite place I wanted to be. So that led up to me peaking again at almost 230 pounds. That led me down the path that whole week, that Thanksgiving week down in Arizona. That led me down the path of really just a lot of self-reflection. I would go outside every night because, of course, it's Thanksgiving. There was a ton of family at the house. There's like 10 people in the house at any given time. So it's a lot of, stuff going on, a lot of holiday stuff going on. So when this happened, I would pause like every night. I would just go outside and I would plug in like a little mini workout. And I remember that first workout I did, it had been a while. That first workout I did, I was horrid shortness of breath. I lost every bit of fitness I had built up at that point. So when I got home, I started to really pay attention to my body because I started to try to work out more. I started to clean up my nutrition a little bit more. I started to take more downtime and relaxation. I started to spend more time with my wife and my son. Started to make time for friends. Like I started to kind of get my life back in order. And I had some health issues popping up that were so weird, especially as a 28-year-old then. I started to have heart palpitations. I was getting a shortness of breath in the mornings, like super weird stuff. And so I went in, had EKG, had all the blood labs, all that kind of stuff worked up. And it came back, it was anemia. And it was, anyone who has anemia, you'll totally understand this. Anemia can kick your ass, like if you do not handle it. And it wasn't that I was just deficient of iron. I started to pay attention to when I was getting these flare-ups. And when these flare-ups hit, I was lethargic to the point where I can't even think straight. And it made no sense because as a massage therapist, like I knew what anemia was. It's, you have lack of iron is what it always points back to. So even though I was getting my iron intake up, it started to get a little better. I noticed that stress would trigger it. Stress would trigger it. And so I really, really had to get my stress under control. And the way that happened was taking care of myself again. Stop trying to say yes to everybody. Stop trying to spread myself so thin. So when I finally did that, I started to wake up early. And I did this whole blog post. Maybe I'll link it up. It was that night at that Thanksgiving. It was Thanksgiving night, I believe, or the night before. That night when I had that realization of like how much I messed up my life. And, this whole time I'm putting the blame on other people, right? Oh, our business is tanking because of so-and-so, or we can't have blah, blah, blah. Like, like all these little things would come on. I'd start to like in my head, try to blame other people or like Trista, my wife, or like my son Titus, like all these little blaming situations would start to pop up. And throughout that process, I really, like it hit me like a bag of rocks right upside the head. And I sat down, I wrote out this blog post, which if you're watching the recording, if you're live, it's not up right now. If you're watching the recording, I'm being vulnerable here. I don't care. So I'll just link it up below. You can check it out. But that's exactly that night I wrote everything out. I just laid it out there. Like I've been a poor husband. I've been a poor business owner. Because I wasn't taking care of myself. And I said in that, I didn't just like vent on everything that was wrong. In that blog post, you'll see I said what I was going to do, and I backed it up when I got home. I said I was going to wake up at 5 a.m. every day. I was going to hit the gym. I was going to start reading good books, like personal growth style books. I was going to start being a better husband. I was going to spend time with my family. I was going to be a better business partner. I was going to focus on the right things in our business. And the biggest one for me was I'm going to start delegating tasks because, again, I was spreading myself thin. So 2 things I did to fix that was, number 1, I delegated tasks. I hired on my first employee, if you want to call it that, but it was a basic assistant at the time that was helping me out with all these tiny little projects. And so I hired somebody, right? So I hired my first assistant to offload stuff to delegate tasks. Second big thing I did was I started learning how to use the word no. And that was a big one for me. I started to learn how to use the word no for the first time in my life. I think that as a massage therapist, and at that time I was a LMT for 8 years, because this was 2 years ago now. So for 8 years as a massage therapist, I would be super curious if any other massage therapists watch this, by the way. Comment below and let me know if you are, because you would totally get this. It's going to be the same thing in the hospitality industry. As a massage therapist, I had to say yes to every request, right? I want softer music. I want louder music. I want more pressure, less pressure. Can you focus here, not there? Yes, 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 yes. Like I grew up, not grew up, but I grew up in my little massage career having to say the word yes to everything. because I wanted to make the client happy. That was my job. And so when I started my own business, started Amazon FBA, and now we have eBay and all these things, I said yes to everything and everyone. So I delegated tasks. That was my first big thing. If we're talking in like a business sense, I delegated tasks. And sometimes that's hiring a virtual assistant. Sometimes it's hiring somebody in person for shipping and prepping and photos and listings and all these little things. But then the second one, even more powerful than that, was I said no. I had to say no to some big projects I was excited about. I had to leave other little businesses I was trying to start up. I had to say no to a lot of things. And that was probably the hardest thing to do, but it was the biggest impact that's had on our lives. And now people know that if they come to me with an idea or a project or a request, if I say no, it's nothing personal. It's just because I know myself well enough now that I'm a people pleaser at heart. If I say yes to too many things, I do not want to go back to the mental dark place I was in that month in November 2016. I do not want to go back there. I read that blog post I did back then. I read that blog post every now and then. And it's like I get all that pain I was holding on to that night. I just, it's almost hard to talk about just because some of you get that. If you've been in one of those dark places mentally and you realize it's because it was your own fault, it's a painful place to go. But it's because I know what that pain feels like. That's what pushes me so hard now. That's why I'm constantly on this road of like better health, better mentality, better spirituality, better relationships, because I know that that's what fulfills me. That's what fulfills a lot of people. So when you don't have those fulfillments going on, you have gaps. And when you have gaps, that's when you slip into those bad places mentally. So some of you get this, some of you don't, and that's okay. I just want to get up here and share a little bit about my story with it. So where this leads to today and how it relates to you guys. I'm not here to say like you need to do blank, but I'm just saying here's what I did. Here's what I had. And again, I've been a health and fitness coach for the last several years too. So I've worked with a lot of clients that have gotten through some dark stuff too. So what I've seen that absolutely works is a couple things. Number one, I don't care how much you hate it. I do not care how much you hate it. I don't care if you don't have the time. You guys, if you ever find yourself saying, I don't have the time, you're not making it a big enough priority. You will make time for whatever you want to get done in this life. That's just what it comes down to. And I've even learned to change my verbiage now. So when people ask me for something and I instead of saying, oh, sorry, I'm busy, I don't have time, I let them know right up front, like, I have big priorities going on right now I need to focus on. I'll need to put that on the back burner and let's touch base again in a few months or next week or whenever. So throughout this journey, I don't care how much you hate it. I don't care how much you think you don't have time. You've got to make your health a priority. If you feel your best, you give your best. Simple as that. Think about, we've all had these days. Think about one of those days, maybe it's been this week, maybe it was today, I don't know. Think about one of those days that you wake up and you're on freaking fire all day. You're mentally clear, you're focused, you're driven, you have energy. You wake up and you kick ass the whole day. That's called being on your A game. Or if you listen to Tony Robbins, he calls it being in your peak state. You're in your peak state. You get your business stuff done. You focus on your family. You focus on your health. You do the things that lift you up. That is called being in a peak state. It feels absolutely incredible to have those days. That is a type of feeling that sometimes alcohol gets you there for some people, but no drug, no amount of caffeine, no amount of alcohol, like nothing can touch that natural feeling of just being on your A game. And you can't have those days every single day, but you guys know where I'm going with that, right? So when you start to exercise, when you start to eat the right foods, you get in that peak state much quicker and easier. I look back at when our business was suffering the most, right? And I'm not saying it's perfect. No one's business here is perfect. Speaking of which, shout out to Rally Roots. I just saw these guys in here. Rally Roots, these guys run a massive business, way bigger than we do, and they would totally agree. that no one's business is perfect. But when you focus on yourself, your health, your priorities, your nutrition, your fitness, you have much higher mental clarity. And when you have mental clarity and when you have energy, you give more. You give better. I cannot even put it into words, guys. Like, when you have a peak state of mind, everything else falls into place. I can promise you that. You only get access to that peak state of mind when you're making yourself a priority, when you're making your family a priority. That's when you get that peak state of mind. That's why in our business, we look at the times that we were struggling most. It was a direct reflection of how consistent I was with myself. If I'm missing workouts, if I'm half-assing workouts, if I'm eating shit all the time, guess what? If you eat crap all the time, you're going to feel like crap all the time. I can promise you that because I've been there many, many times. You're talking to a former yo-yo dieter for like 5 years. I did that crap. And guess what? I'd feel really good, and then I would feel really bad. And guess what happened to the business? It was doing really good, and then it was doing really bad. I'm at a point now where this has become a habit. It's become a habit. When something becomes a habit, it just cruises. It's on cruise control, guys. You've got to take care of yourself. So fitness, nutrition is hands down some of the most important. Number 3 is going to be personal growth. And I don't say read necessarily because there's several versions of personal growth. So some of you can read, right? I go through phases myself, but like recently I can't sit down and like, I just have too much ADHD. I can't friggin' sit down and just like read a book anymore. I for the last several years I was doing that, but recently I can't do that. But if I'm in the middle of a workout, if I'm driving or anything like that, and I got some good personal growth stuff, just going on YouTube usually, just go to YouTube, type in motivation. There are thousands of videos of Les Brown, Tony Robbins, all these big speakers that man, I get pumped up when I listen to that stuff. And that truly does help my mentality. So first thing in the morning, I focus on my fitness. I plan out my nutrition for the day. Sometimes I'm on the road all day, and that's totally okay if you have to go out, just cut out the crap, right? You don't have to order a bun with the burger or the chicken. You can go out and find somewhere that has salads. Like, you can figure that stuff out. And if you're counting macros, guys, by the way, flexible dieting, if you've been one of my clients, you know how I roll. I can teach you guys how to eat pizza and all that fun stuff and still lose weight. It's possible. I've done it. I do it right now. So with that being said, your physical health, your mental health, that's it. That's first. And so I want to hit comments real quick. If you guys have questions, please drop those below. Let me scroll back up here. I saw a chat was kind of popping. Reef says, hey man, I wanted to thank you. I'm 24 years old, started with FBA, RA about 3 weeks ago. It's going amazing. I'm actually going to private label as soon as China opens up business, man. That's awesome. Keep up the great work. Wanted to ask you, I'm currently in law school and I'm considering quitting law school and dedicating full time to FBA. What's my advice? That is a giant leap. That is a giant leap. Here, I'm 50-50 because I'm all about, people quitting their jobs and working for themselves. I'm all about that, but there's a realistic point to it. If you just started 3 weeks ago, you're not going to be snowballing enough cash to probably live on out of the gate. So I would tell you to, again, I can't give you the one-on-one answer that you're probably looking for, but one thing that you'll learn through time with Amazon FBA is you don't see that cash for a while. If you really want to build the FBA business, and same thing with eBay, you have to roll your capital back into it, roll your profits back into it until it snowballs to where you can take these payouts and live on. It's a slow journey. It's a slow journey. So I can't give you like a yes, quit your law school, don't quit. I can't give you a direct answer. That's up to you and your situation. I don't know what bills you got or any of that. So that's up to you. Awesome. Thank you for that, Shane. Oh, Marla, I feel you on that. Marla just nailed it. Here's why it's so hard to say no, because you feel guilty when you do. You totally feel guilty when you do. There's been a couple times where I've had like business partners on like pretty big projects that I could work on with them, and they come to me and say, "Hey, I want you to do this with me." And there's been a couple times where it's like, "Yeah, oh, I can't." Like I almost say yes. I almost say yes because I would feel so bad, so guilty for not doing it. But at the end of the day, I've got to keep my home base centered. I've got to keep myself centered for me to really excel in everything else. So yeah, you can definitely feel guilty about it, but you'll learn. You'll learn. Yeah, do not feel guilty. A bit off topic, but what is the best online arbitrage software? Tactical arbitrage, hands down. Riley said you guys got to come visit here in Florida. Sun all day, every day. Very inspiring, then just brutal. Oh man, Allie, we definitely need to get out to Florida. I would love that. We're at what, mid-February, so we're all getting to our seasonal depression stage over here. I'm surprised I'm like not whiter than I am, by the way, because we're on month probably 4 or 5 of just straight rain out there. We had sun a couple days ago. It was amazing. All right, I want to make sure I catch up on these with you guys. All right, cool. So let's move forward, shall we? So that's kind of my backstory, right? That's what happens when you don't put yourself first, when you don't make yourself a priority. And the second part of this was, how did it improve our business? And I kind of touched base on this already. By me taking a step back and doing that whole week of reflection that I did and mapping out I wasn't just picking out the things I needed to fix. I had a game plan on what to do. Here's what I did. And you'll see it when you read through that blog post. I woke up early. I got my workout in. And you guys, P.S., when I say do exercise, do workouts, I'm not telling you have to go into the gym and sling weights around for an hour and a half to 2 hours. I'm not saying you have to go run. Like, wake up, and trust me, do this. This is my exact morning routine. Wake up on a good day. I don't have perfect days, but on a good day, wake up, pound 16 to 20 ounces of water, right? If you want to get super healthy, put some lemon or some good healthy stuff in there. And then typically I'll read for about 15 minutes. Recently, like I said earlier, I'm having a hard time with books, so I'm listening to audio stuff more. But I'll do like 15, 20 minutes of audio or read a good book, and then I go to the gym. And for me, I'm on a specific workout plan right now, so I do hit the gym for an hour to an hour and a half. But in your case, if you're just starting out, like, go out for a 10-minute walk. Do 10 minutes of yoga. Like, do something that moves your body. One of my other favorite quotes is, activity fuels activity. Laziness fuels laziness. Again, if you guys have had those days where you're like peak state of mind, you're like rocking the whole day, you're active, you're moving, you're doing stuff, you're pushing that momentum forward, and it's easy to keep that momentum going. But then there's the opposite day where you start off waking up late, barely enough time to shower, take care of the kids, do all that stuff you got to do, and then your whole day seems like it just is a domino effect of negativity or laziness, unproductive, like, and you end the day just feeling sorry for yourself. Like, though trust me, I get those days often, just like you guys do, but it's the law of motion. What's in motion will stay in motion. It's easier to actually go through. Hold on, we gotta block some peeps. I need a moderator up in here is what I need. All right, there we go. All right, so when you're in motion, right? You stay in motion. It's easier to keep something going and maintain it than it is to create it. And if I can give you any experience with that, like losing weight, the process of losing weight myself and getting into shape And I'm not in killer shape by any means. I've still got like 15 pounds to go. But I'm on the journey with you guys, right? I'm not anyone perfect here. But throughout the journey of losing what I needed to lose in the beginning, that was so much harder than it is to get in shape and just stay there. Because again, activity fuels activity. It gets way easier rather than if you take your foot off the gas pedal and all of a sudden you come to a stop and you lose that motion. It is way harder to get that ball rolling again. So much harder. I know, right? Troll alert. I'm used to them by now. Anyone who ever does a YouTube channel, Instagram account, if you ever put yourself out in the public eye, you will get the trolls. They live on it. Love it. All right. So that's kind of my story. And I know that because I wanted to share this because I get hit up a lot with like the health stuff. So I did a few things. Okay. There's going to be a one-time deal going on, and it's only going to be for the people that either see this live or throughout the next 48 hours, because once Monday gets here, it's deals off. So I did a few things. One is I created a health and fitness based channel. Now, some of you have followed my content for many years. Some of you don't know that the Amazon, FBA, and eBay channel you see right now, this is only 2 years old. I was actually doing fitness videos for the past like 9 years too. So I documented my whole journey. So you can go back, way back when I was doing like P90X Insanity back in the day. I was like 215, 220 pounds, shirt off, bouncing around in my living room. It was so bad. So I stopped doing all those videos a long time ago, but because of recent requests, a lot of conversations I've had, I created a new health and fitness channel that I want to just do the same thing we did here. I want to provide quality content for those of you that want to start taking control of your health and your life and finding that time management, that life balance you're looking for. So that channel is going to be dedicated for, it's called the Rise Up Crew. It's kind of like the brand I'm going to build off the fitness stuff. So I'll link that below if you want to check it out. If you want to get subscribed, there's nothing on it as of right now at the time of this video, but I'm going to start putting stuff on there on Monday. Part 2 of this, starting Monday. Some of you know this already if you've been on my Instagram account. So I have been behind the scenes. I haven't talked about it. Behind the scenes. Oh man, I wish I could show you guys some before and after pictures right now. Stay tuned. So behind the scenes for the last 2 months, I have been working with a group. We started with, it's always a numbers game. We started with 40 people. The people who finished the test group that we were in, we had about 10 people finish. And so we've got some incredible testimonies out of the thing. We got people that lost 15 pounds in the 6 weeks that we did this. So we did a 6-week test group of a program that I created. Anyone who's been following me for a while, you know that I used to promote other people's programs and stuff like that, but I no longer do that because I figure, you know what, I want to start to personalize a few things. I want to make my own program. So I made my own program. We put a test group through it. Awesome feedback on it, and we have round 2 that starts on Monday. Now here's where the one-time deal only comes in. After round 2 is finished, because I'm doing this to get feedback as well, that's why it's called test group. After round 2 is finished, I'm going to finalize it, create the like special production videos. I'm going to create the PDF files. The website is going to be done. All that kind of stuff is going to be done. It will be packaged and bundled and sold for public, so we can start building that fitness brand. But of course that will come with a price tag that's going to be a little bit higher. So for anyone that got any type of value out of this or anything I talk about when it comes to like prioritizing your life and your fitness, your health, your nutrition, we are going, excuse me, I downed a whole bunch of water before this and for some reason it gave me the burps. That's what happens on an empty stomach. So leading up till Monday, here's the deal. I originally was going to charge 99 bucks for getting entry into round 2 of the test group. Let me talk about what that includes real quick. The test group is going to give you a gym version of workouts to do. It's the exact plan. I tell you which move, how many reps, how many sets, take this amount of time as a break, and repeat whatever. So I break everything down for you, because the biggest thing that we found was a lot of people have gym memberships, especially this time of year. You know, some of you might be guilty of it. A lot of people get gym memberships. You walk in, You get overwhelmed by everything and what to do, and then you just go to the treadmill or the elliptical and you do cardio, right? And the cardio is not going to be the best option for you. So the problem was a lot of people don't know what to do with the machines, the Smith machine, the free weights, the dumbbells, the barbell. So we created a whole program, and I created the videos that show you step by step exactly what to do with the equipment. I show you how to do it. I'm going to start filming this weekend, so we're going to show modifiers on how to do each move in a modified way too, because we wanted to be able to have somebody who's brand new to fitness come in here and learn how to do these workouts. So that is basically the whole shebang when it comes to the workout stuff. This weekend, I'm going to be putting in some late nights, but I'm going to develop a little mini website, a web page that's going to have each day video on it. So it's going to be like day one, you click on the link, go to the web page, which only you have access to. You click on the day one page. It will have today's workout, the videos on how to do each move. It will tell you how to do everything, how many reps, how many sets, break time, etc. It will have a challenge of the day, and I'm going to get in there and coach the crap out of this group. I'm going to spend a lot of time on these people. So with that being said, nutrition, this is the biggest one. With nutrition, like I just said, I am a firm believer that no one nutrition plan works for everybody. I'm a big believer that each person will thrive with different nutrition plans. So I'm going to be creating more videos. Again, I'm going to be up late tonight, late tomorrow night doing this. So I'm going to create a series of videos that's going to cover different eating methods that you can lose weight on all of them with. So you get to play around with each one and test each one and find what works for you. For example, me personally, I love two things: counting macros and intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting is where you only eat for a certain amount of hours per day. So I only eat between about 12 and 8 each day. I don't have my first meal until about 12 o'clock. I've been doing that for 3 years. 3 years I've missed breakfast, right? A lot of people that say breakfast is the most important of the day, it jumpstarts your metabolism. There's a lot of science that has debunked those myths. So my job as your coach for this group, for this test group, is to come in here and give you guys the facts, give you guys different options on what can work for you. Flexible dieting, counting macros, whatever you want to call it, if it fits your macros, there's all kinds of different terms. But somebody just dropped it and said, I'm in, but can I still eat Big Macs? Yes. Loosely, I'm going to say a loose yes. Here's how you do flexible dieting. You can't just eat crap all day, every day, right? You're not going to be able to eat much of it anyways because it's such high calories. So if you want to eat a Big Mac like every other day, or even every day, I can show you exactly how to do that. So yes, you can eat whatever food you want. Anyone on my Instagram account, see I'm going to be eating a Halo Top every single night. A big challenge would be Ben & Jerry's, but that has like 1,200 calories for a pint, and that wouldn't leave much wiggle room for like real food. So I'm going to eat a pint of Halo Top every day for the 6 weeks and prove to you guys you can eat good stuff and still lose weight and get in shape. So that's like the fitness, the nutrition. You get plugged into a Facebook group, which is our private accountability group. That's kind of like the home base. I'm going to hold your butt accountable. That's the most important part here. I'm going to hold your butt accountable. You can have the world's best nutrition plan, the best fitness plan, the best everything. But if you don't do it, you're not going to get anywhere. So I'm going to hold your butt accountable. There will be required check-ins. I'm going to be hopping on the phone with you. You guys actually get access to my cell phone for texting. I'll be hopping on the phone with you guys. I'll be doing group calls for coaching as well. So we're doing a bunch of different stuff with that. So you get the private accountability group. You get one-on-one connection with myself. I'm going to be coaching the crap out of you guys because each of you are in a different spot. Some of you are brand new. Some of you have a little bit of history with fitness. So I want to connect with each of you privately and see how we can tailor each little plan to you. But my goal is for anyone to be able to start one of the programs, walk into a gym, and know what to do. That's my job. And so with that being said, again, I had this price tag of $99. It was going to be on the tip of my head. Here's why I wanted to do that, because when we did round one, there was no cost. It was free. But we started with 44 people and we ended with 10. there was no skin in the game. And I've learned, I should have known better. I learned, because I had very high hopes for like 25 to 30 people to finish round one. I know by now how the numbers game works. If you don't have skin in the game, you're not going to take it as serious. So that is why we're putting a charge to this. I'm not doing it by any means because I'm going to make a bunch of money and profit and go sip on margaritas in an island somewhere. I'm doing it primarily because I need some skin in the game. I'm going to be giving an insane amount of time to this group, to these people. The coaching, the videos, like everything I'm putting into this is going to be a lot of time on my end, which I am completely okay with doing if you are showing up and doing it. Right? I'm not here to waste your time. I'm not here to waste my time. So I'm going to drop it from 99 to 50 bucks flat. 50 bucks, you get access to everything I just talked about for 6 weeks. You get plugged into the private Facebook group, everything included, 50 bucks. So with that being said though, because again, 44 is a lot of people to manage one by one. It's not going to be per month, actually, Alejandro. It's going to be just 50 bucks flat for the 6 weeks. After the 6 weeks is done, I'm contemplating some type of like monthly deal, but I'm not even going to think about that right now. So 50 bucks for the 6 weeks, just flat, no strings attached type of deal with that. So with that being said, I can't give 40 people one-on-one individual attention for 6 weeks. That is going to be super time consuming, right? I've still got businesses to build over here. But I can do 25. So we are going to put a cap of 25 people. And I have no better way to pick people than first come, first serve. So what you need to do is right after this video, if you're on live, it's not up yet, but after you're done watching this video, or right now if you're watching the recording, in the description below is a link to an application. You fill out that application, and it's going to be the first 25 people. Of course, the first 25 that actually pay, right? You can't just submit the application and then expect to get in. So submit the application, and then I'll take care of the payment stuff as a follow-up. But it's just going to be 50 bucks, first come, first serve. I'm taking on 25 people. Do not apply. I don't care how much money you pay. Do not apply if you are not going to show up every day for 6 weeks. I need you to want to actually take this seriously, because I'm going to. If you sign up and you say, Chaz, I need your help for 6 weeks, because that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you. If you sign up and say, Chaz, I need help for 6 weeks, and you don't apply the coaching, I can't help you, right? So you need, whatever it is, if you need to take the ego and leave it at the door, whatever it is, just don't be here and waste your time, and don't waste my time. Be coachable, be ready to implement some stuff, be ready to push out of your comfort zone, be ready to sweat. You're gonna be so friggin' sore. Week 1 of our first test group, people were so sore. But we had people losing 15 pounds, 12 pounds, 10 pounds, and that's just the scale. I'm gonna post some of the before and after photos on my Instagram after this. They're amazing. But just keep that in mind. I do not want time wasters. You have to be open to be coached and to apply what's being taught here. So if you're gonna show up and kind of try it out for a week and then fall off the grid and not check in each day, you're gonna be, I will happily refund you and kick you right out of the group, because we need people who are committed. So again, first 25 people, check out the link that's below in the description and get that filled out. This starts Monday, so deadline is gonna be Sunday night. Sunday night is gonna be deadline. That's a great question. We got a couple questions right here. How many hours a day? Is it scheduled? And do you have to have access to a gym? Let me touch base on that. I'm going to ask that you block off 1/3, like it depends on the workout. Some workouts will be short, they're like 20 to 30 minutes. Other workouts might be an hour. If you're in the gym, they're gonna be longer workouts because you're lifting weights. You're gonna be doing some cardio, don't get me wrong, I'm gonna have you doing yoga. That's right, you're gonna be doing some yoga. It's a very well-balanced program. If you're doing the home version, so that's part 2 to the question, is, and I'm not gonna have you do scheduled, let me back up. I'm not gonna have you do scheduled like I need you to work out at 6 a.m. every day, because we all have different schedules. I'm just going to say, here's the workout, here's your nutrition plan you should be following, and it's up to you to make sure that you actually get in there and do it. So you can do that at 6 a.m., you can do it at 11 p.m., whatever. I don't care what time you get stuff done as long as it's done each day. So with part 2 is, do you have to have access to a gym? No, you do not. Do I recommend it? Yes. I did at-home workouts for many years. I believe in them. I have one version here is going to be a home program, but strength-based training is going to get you results quicker. It's going to get you results that last. It's going to build lean muscle tissue on you. If you're a female and you sign up for this, do not think for 1 second the myth that if you pick up a weight, you're going to get bulky, right? That's not going to happen. You have to eat way more than you think to get that bulky look for a female. So you do not need access to a gym, but I do recommend it. So there will be a home version and a gym version, okay? And I can work with you. If you want to do 6 days a week, there's a 6-day-a-week program. If you want to do 4 days a week or 3 days a week, I can tailor that to you. My job here is to tailor stuff to each of you to make it the best experience possible. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Never made it to a live. Welcome, Videos 101. Zovaline, I work at a gym, so I have access to the gym all night long. That's amazing. Which gym do you work at? I've always wanted to do just like 1 day a week working at a gym as a personal trainer, just so I have free access to the gym. Let me scroll it, make sure I didn't miss anything. Jesse says, I'm the perfect candidate. 44 years old, 5'8", 235. I'm obese. I go to the gym 3 to 5 days a week, but my biggest problem is nutrition. Yeah, nutrition, you guys. Nutrition is going to be the nutrition is going to be the hardest aspect to any program for all of us, right? It's the thing I struggle with most, but there's ways to get around that. So again, I'm going to connect with you. So Jesse, for example, when we have like a call, I'm going to say, you said that nutrition's your biggest part. Tell me more about that. So I'm going to get to know you. Maybe it's the late night eating, the snacking, the bad foods. Like we can work around that kind of stuff. Jennifer says, free would be nice. It would be nice, and it was nice on round 1, but we had way too many people drop out because they had no skin in the game. And I'm getting just enough to kind of compensate for the time I'm going to put into it. Tyler is eating Valentine's chocolate while watching this. As long as you're plugging it into MyFitnessPal and you're working with it, you can do it. I love it. Zovaline, I work at Planet Fitness. Free black membership card. Membership at LA Fitness for sauna pool classes they have. Nice, nice. Yeah, Planet Fitness is where I primarily go. I'm in a small town, so that's kind of our best option is Planet Fitness. I would love to get into some type of LA Fitness, 24-hour fitness, something that has some more things like, like just a free weight, like a barbell would be so nice to have. I'm considering getting one here at the office because we have enough space. I want to get a little mat with a barbell here just so I have access to a barbell. So funny. Oh, Jennifer, I gotcha. Yeah, talk about for the gym. Free would absolutely be nice for a gym. I would totally work at a gym part-time 1 day a week to have free access. I would totally do that. I'd probably hate it, but well, no, I would hate any job at a gym except for personal training. I love getting people hands-on in a gym and training them. I love it. You guys don't know this, but FBA and eBay and all this money I want to develop throughout e-commerce is actually going to build up to not just us buying a house, because we don't have a house yet, we just rent still, but not only is it going to buy us a house, my dream, like, and I know this is a super saturated market or whatever, but I really want to own a gym. No problem, Jess. Yeah, it's going to take me a little bit of time to get an application filled out. I have a prior one from a different type of group I ran a while ago, so I'm going to reconstruct that. So sign up if you're live right now. Sign up will be late tonight and tomorrow. And then for those of you watching the recording, it's already up. So check out the description below. I agree. Investment of money increases commitment. It does. 100%. All right, guys, that's my spiel. That's my story. I wanted to at least get up here and just share a little bit about kind of the swings that I've been through, how I got out of it. Again, if you want to read that blog post, it's pretty short. It's not too long. That blog post I did 2016 when I was at like a pretty low spot. You can check that out in the link below in the description. You can kind of read up on what was going through my head at the time. And I just laid out a few things I was going to do. And in there, I was going to wake up early. I was going to start taking care of myself, and I was going to hire help when I got home, like all these little things. And I did it. I followed up with it. But aside from that, if it's of any interest for anyone that needs the help, needs the hand holding, the one-on-one approach, then I would highly recommend you get into this group that starts on Monday. And for those of you that missed out earlier, it's called the Rise Up Crew. Is going to be my fitness brand, and so we actually created a new YouTube channel. There's no content on it right this second, but it's going to be a fitness and health based YouTube channel, so you can also subscribe to that. Check it out below. Zovaline, I paid for the VIP group, but lost the link. It gives you how to get into the group. Zovaline, shoot me a message, or if you're on our Instagram, message me on Instagram, or shoot me a message at fbarockstars@gmail.com. fbarockstars@gmail.com, and I can send you the actual link to it. Off-topic question: do you take more profit or fast selling? The last few months, like the last 3 months, I'm all about fast selling. I'm in a volume phase right now. I'm happy doing high volume with lower margins, as long as it's just quick flips. But I do have a few items that I hold on to for a bigger profit. I'm way more about the quick flip right now than I think I ever have been. I used to hold out on all my stuff to try to get top dollar, and I mean, the big sales were fun, they were great, but I didn't like how slow it was coming in. So I switched over to kind of a quick flip approach, fast moving items, and I'm loving it so far. But it's not for everyone. Everyone runs a different business. Some people love high volume, low margin. Some people like the high margin, lower volume, but it's a little bit slower sales. Some people have a perfect balance kind of in between the mix, and that's what I want to get to. But for now, I'm all about the quick flip. Awesome, guys. Sweet. Well, I don't want to take up too much more of your time. I appreciate all of you for checking out this video. If you made it all the way through, thank you so much. For those of you that are signing up for this thing, I'm seriously like, I am so freaking excited for this. It's a passion of mine. It always has been. I took a big break from like the health and fitness coaching stuff for a long time because we were focused on e-commerce. Now the e-commerce is growing, and it takes a little bit less attention now because we've hired out help. I have a little more free time I can put into coaching, and man, I missed it. I missed health and fitness coaching because it's not about the weight. Let me just clarify. It's not about what the scale shows. It's not about the inches. It's not about the before and after photo. When you have more energy, when you feel better, and that affects your business, and that affects your relationships, and that affects everything else, that's where you win. You win on the result of losing weight. Losing weight is not the benefit itself. That's a byproduct. The result that creates is more energy. You sleep better. You feel more confident. You just start to like open up more. You start to have better relationships. It's just, if you haven't been there, you won't get it until you get there. And I'm gonna ask you like, hey, you get what I mean now? And you're like, holy crap, yeah, I feel amazing. My job is to bring you back to the confidence that you want, the energy that you want, the life that you want. I'm here to kind of help you open up that gateway for yourself. So I hope to work with you guys. Again, it's 25 spots. I wish I could work with more right now. I'll probably open up some type of wait list after 25 so for the next round. It won't be until probably end of March. It's probably going to be closer into like April that I do another series like this. That's why I said this is like a one-time get in, get your results type of thing. It's going to be a while until we do another one. But aside from that, if you're in the group, I'm seriously looking forward to it. If you sign up and you don't hear from me, please message me. If you don't hear from me by Sunday night, then please message me so I can get you plugged into the group, get you your materials and all that fun stuff. But aside from that, peace out. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys later.